This trade fight didn't go the way Washington planned. Donald Trump's trade pressure on Canada was supposed to force concessions. Instead, it exposed just how dependent the United States really is on Canada. A lot of time he acts as if, oh, we don't need Canada, but they are very dependent on us. So let's not get that twisted. This is a status check on how Trump's trade demands backfired and backfired spectacularly, and why Mark Carney is now holding the leverage as the USMCA review approaches. It's a USMCA, KUSIMA, or whatever. Ahead of the upcoming USMCA trade agreement review, Trump's camp pushed 5 major demands on Canada. They targeted Canada's dairy supply management system, digital media and cultural protection laws, government procurement rules, energy policy and export controls, and access to critical minerals essential for EVs and defense. The strategy was clear: apply pressure, extract concessions, and reassert U.S. dominance. But instead of folding, Canada refused every single demand. Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada, didn't escalate. He didn't retaliate. He simply said no, calmly, publicly, and consistently. Why? Because Canada knows the numbers. The United States depends on Canada for stable energy supply, especially oil, gas, and electricity. Deeply integrated auto supply chains that can't be replaced quickly. Critical minerals needed for batteries, autos, aerospace, and military tech. And agricultural trade that keeps prices down for American consumers. Walking away from USMCA wouldn't punish Canada first. It would hit US workers and manufacturers immediately. Trump's demand unintentionally revealed something Washington prefers to downplay. The US needs Canada more than Canada needs political approval from Washington. Factories in the Midwest rely on Canadian inputs. Energy security relies on Canadian exports. EV ambitions rely on Canadian minerals. Once that dependence was exposed, the threat of walking away lost its power. If the US were to abandon or destabilize a trade agreement, American auto prices would rise, manufacturing delays would spread, energy costs would spike, and supply chains would fracture. Canada would feel pain, yes, we agree, but the shock would hit the US faster and harder. That's why even inside Washington, support for a trade rupture is thin. Here's the status check right now. Trump's trade pressure exposed U.S. dependence on Canada. Mark Carney rejected all 5 U.S. demands. Canada's negotiating position is stronger, not weaker. Walking away would hurt American workers more than Canadians. This standoff would reshape North American economic power for decades. This wasn't a bluff that worked. It was a pressure campaign that backfired. For more status check, follow us, guys. Share if you think this trade fight just rewrote the balance of power in North America. Yes, because we see a lot of people talking about Carney's speech at the Worlds that they did the other day, and it was so powerful, and people are praising him. And also, Canada has a lot of leverage. They have always said it. Mark Carney is not the one to push and belittle and just be unnecessary. But at the end of the day, he knows his stuff. He's in the field. He knows what he's talking about. Canada has leverage and we're not going to be, rolled over. No, we are going to go to negotiation table, yes, with respect, but at the end of the day, Canada is going to come out a winner. It is either it's going to be win-win or Canada win straight out. So yes, guys, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Just follow status check for more updates.